45 days from today, I will be leaving for Antarctica. And one thing that people always talk about is the gear or the clothing that you should be bringing to Antarctica. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and, buying new things before going on a trip. Because over the last couple days, I've had some experiences with some new things that I've purchased that I wanted to bring on the trip, and I have to make some adjustments with some, and some of the things I'm deciding that I actually don't want to bring them, and I want to go with something different. I'm glad that I'm doing this with plenty of time. I mean, 32 days until I leave, or 33 days until I actually leave, isn't really that much time, but better today, 33 days out, than 2 days, 5 days out, or the night before I leave, right? So this is all kind of part of the process and planning. And if I was just going away to Mexico or somewhere in the States for a weekend or a week or something like that, it wouldn't be such a big deal, because those places I know, like, whatever I don't have, I'll be able to buy, or if something doesn't work out, I can buy it. But there's two big things, going on this ship that is 2 days and more away from anything, except for what is on that ship, and then scuba diving as well. So I don't know about any of you, if you've ever purchased new things before you went to travel, whether that was new clothing or a camera or whatever, like sunscreen and that kind of stuff aside, but things that, have a functional purpose that, need to work a certain way in order to be effective. So some of you may have watched a video that I did a while ago. I don't know what day it was on at this point, where I was testing out these new pants that I bought. They were fleece lined pants, that I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to bring these or not. I don't know if they're going to be too warm. I tested those out before, and I decided that with all of the base layers and other things that I have, I don't think I really need to bring them. So I'm keeping them because they're great pant for around here, and I got a great price on them. That was one thing. And then I bought a couple other pairs of hiking pants. Oddly enough, I do hiking here, but I only wear like leggings, except for, and then that limits me, because I don't have, until now, I didn't have anything that was like water repellent. So on less than ideal days, it wasn't great. I have snow pants and a rain jacket, but I didn't have any water repellent or water resistant pants. So that was one of my goals for this trip, is to get pants like that, because in some of the places that I'll be going, there'll be like spray from lakes and all that kind of stuff, and maybe on the boat, there'll be that as well. So I want to make sure the pants that I have are water repellent and or quick drying. So those were things that I was looking for. So I bought a few different pairs, and when I finally found some that I liked, and I bought them, I kind of just held on to them. We're like, cool, yeah, really like these. And then yesterday I decided to go for a walk and wear one of the pairs of pants. And I was like, oh, they don't quite move with my body, I guess is a good way to put it. They felt a little bit uncomfortable when I was walking around the waist. So I was like, oh, you know what? I actually don't know if these are the right pants to bring with me to be like, one of 4 pairs of pants that I'm bringing for this whole trip. So, importance of trying out things that you purchase, because you never know how they're going to work out. Maybe they're too big, maybe they're too small, maybe they just don't feel right, maybe they rip in the process or something like that, right? Or let's say maybe you have a new camera and something goes wrong, or it doesn't do something that you expected it to do. Like, you'd really like to figure that out before you go on that trip, so you have the opportunity to fix it or replace it or find whatever solution you need to find. Because when that happens on your trip, you're probably going to be upset and not have the same means necessary to find a resolution for it. I mean, it depends where you are, but let's say again, a camera, if you're like, oh wow, look at this great thing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's not doing what I want it to do, and you're in the moment, you're gonna not feel very happy about that. Right? So prepare to, I don't want to say prepare for that not to happen. Try out new stuff before you go. So the other story with that is the new dry suit that I bought. Absolutely love it. I didn't give myself a lot of time to practice in it before I went. And that's my own doing, but I have had the chance to practice. I have to count exactly, but I think I've done 5 or 6 dives in this new dry suit, and today I had a few different things go wrong. I ripped a seal, which is super easy to repair. I got quick changing seals for that very reason. I managed to not have to fix it today. Won't go into the details of that unless you're a diver. It's probably boring and doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I ripped a seal. I have this system where my glove attaches to the suit, and that wasn't working properly either. So I had to come up with a different solution for that. Again, it was fine. It all worked out. But had that happened while I was in Antarctica, it still would have been fine. It was a simple solution, but I'd be probably a little bit more upset than I was today because, you know, I was in a place where I had done many, many dives, like Minnewanka again. So had that happened, you know, as I'm trying to get off the boat in Antarctica, I would just be a little bit more frustrated and not know exactly where all the things are that I needed to fix that problem. And then I also had just challenges with another functionality of the suit that wasn't working as it was supposed to work today. Is that me being new to the suit? I don't think it was, but I'm going to evaluate it. I brought it into the shop and I'm going to speak to the guy, the repair guy on Monday, and just, you know, kind of fine tune it and maybe jump in the pool and, you know, get some maybe tips because maybe I didn't do something right. You never know, right? So again, had something like this happened in Antarctica, I would have been like, oh my gosh, like, will I be able to dive anymore? You know, all of these things. So I'm so happy that I've set the time aside to practice, try out this new suit so I can work through any kinks before I get there. So that is my little story for you today, and a little lesson of new things are great, but make sure you try them before you actually take them on a trip. All right, and we'll see you all tomorrow for another day. Bye-bye.